Hey guys, Autumn Miles here. I have a word for you guys today. I think it's really going to encourage you. Some of you guys are begging God to work. Please work in my situation. But what you don't realize is that He is working right now. You just can't see it. Sometimes I think in the Christian world, we call things a work of God. But what we call a work of God or God working is actually not the case. We will look at a church and it's exploding and it's growing and we're like, wow, God is working. But what you don't realize is that most of the work has already been done. It's been done where we cannot see. We are walking by sight when we call things a work of God, when we can see them and not necessarily by faith, okay? God works the most, where we cannot see evidence of His work. This is my story. Isn't this good, y'all? This is my story. It's out of 2 Kings. I'm obsessed with this passage. I've preached on it a lot, but I want to pull this one point out that I haven't necessarily spoken on. This is, let me do 2 Kings 3 verse 9. So the king of Israel went with the king of Judah. Hang with me. It's so good. And the king of Edom, and they made a circuit of 7 days' journey. So these three kings went out. They made, they started marching or whatever for 7 days. And there was no water for the army or for the cattle that followed them. What kind of a king would actually leave without water? I mean, that's not really a good leader in my book. Then the king of Israel said, alas, for the Lord has called 3 kings to give them into the hand of Moab, okay? But Jehoshaphat said, is there not a prophet of the Lord that we may inquire of the Lord by him? And one of the king of Israel's servants answered and said, Elisha, the son of Shaphat, is here, who used to pour water on the hands of Elijah. So let me break this down for you a little bit so you don't check out. 3 kings, they left to go fight the Moabites, okay? When they left, they didn't bring water. Everybody's about to die because they don't have any water. So they're like, we need a prophet. They find the prophet Elisha and they go in and they talk to him. And this is what Elisha says, I'm going to go to the Lord for you. And let me pick it up in verse 14. Elisha said, as the Lord lives before whom I stand, were it not that I regard the presence of Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, I wouldn't look at you, nor see you. But then he said, thus saith the Lord, make the valley full of trenches. For thus says the Lord, you shall not see wind. You shall not see rain, yet that valley shall be filled with water, so that you shall drink, both you and your cattle and your beast. This is but a slight thing in the sight of the Lord. He will also give the Moabites into your hand. No water. They went to see Elisha. Elisha said, okay, I want you, this is what God says, I want you to go dig a bunch of trenches. What's going to happen when God works, you will not see. You will only see the product of His works. You're going to wake up and all of a sudden the entire valley of all these trenches that you have dug will be filled with water, but you will not see how it happens. And sure enough, the next day they woke up, all the valley and all the trenches that they had dug was full of water, and it actually looked like blood, and the Moabites thought that the battle had already happened and ran away. Listen, This is so relevant to those of us that are asking God, God, do this for me. I need you to come through. I need you to work. I need you this opportunity. I need to be healed. I need my daughter to come back to the Lord. Whatever it is that you are dealing with today, whatever it is that you are praying for, and you have resolved in your mind that God is not at work, He has not heard you, He has forsaken you, He stepped away from you, you need to understand this. When that daughter comes back, the money comes through, the opportunity opens up, it is evidence that He was working all along. What does this verse say? For thus saith the Lord, you shall not see wind, you shall not see the rain, yet the valley shall be filled with water. They did not see how God did it. They just saw that He did it. Ooh, I'm literally getting goosebumps. This is for you guys. Please comment and tell me if this spoke to you. Whatever you're praying for, I want you to transfer that prayer, not to, oh God, you didn't come through. Where are you? I'm so disappointed, so discouraged. Start thanking Him because He is working in the supernatural right now that you just can't see. He worked for these 3 kings and they couldn't see it until they saw the evidence that He was working to deliver them. So good. I hope this encourages y'all. I love you so much. He's working. I promise. I'll see you next time.